Hiding in plain sight on Main Street in Buzzards Bay is one of the more unique animal hospitals on the East Coast. Behind these frosted windows are creatures not found in your local petting zoo. In fact, this is the only place for miles that some of these animals can be taken in, and all of them are here with the intention of being released back into the wild as soon as they're ready. This is the one spot along the New England shoreline from Maine all the way down to Rhode Island that actually takes in sick and abandoned seals. The next closest spot is the Mystic Aquarium in Connecticut.
We care for these animals with the intent of releasing them back to the wild, and in doing so, we have a great opportunity to educate. We educate over 12,000 students a year, and also do the science. So I like to say science starts here. This is where you start documenting, and then scientists can actually create hypotheticals and decide what kind of research is required.
During our visit, we were able to see some of the seal pups as they were being fed. These are relatively new arrivals, and since they haven't developed teeth yet, they're tube fed. This is a 5 times per day process, which starts at 7 in the morning and finishes up at 11 o'clock at night.
Pups, they don't know how to eat just quite yet, so these guys that you've seen earlier today are about a week or so old, so they should still be nursing with their mother. For whatever reason, they were separated, so we don't always know the cause of that. Sometimes the mom just leaves them a little bit too early. Sometimes human interaction can cause the mom to separate from the baby a little bit too early. So because of that, we have to sustain them through tube feeding and give them the nutrients they need to bulk them up until they're ready to start learning how to eat fish. So that's the tube feeding process.
We were also there for the admission of 2 other baby seals. The interns and volunteers taking care of this procedure do so in a manner that's very quick and efficient because they not only need to keep the interaction between human and animal to a minimum, but these seals were under duress upon their arrival, so the quicker, the better.
For these pups especially, they came all the way down from Maine this afternoon, so they had about a 4-hour drive just to get here, so that in itself is pretty stressful on them. So we do everything we can to make the admit process as smooth and minimize stress as possible. So the way we do that is just being very efficient with the work that we do. So moving through the whole admit process from the blood draw to taking temperature, getting our samples and doing the physical exam as quickly as we can, and then also minimizing any audible stress or physical stress on them. So just trying to breeze through efficiently for them.
On the back wall of the visitor center, closed-circuit cameras are set on several of the tanks in the hospital. They're filled with fresh ocean water every day from the canal just behind the building. During this visit, the tanks house not only seals, but sea turtles, who go through a similar admission process, just during a different time of year.
With the turtles, they typically come in a lot more critical. They come in during the cold stunning season in late fall, early winter. So they're often very hypothermic and very critical state.
As fun as these animals may be for outsiders to look at, they're here for scientific purposes, with the end result being that they eventually get released back into the ocean that they came from.
The National Marine Life Center rehabilitates stranded marine mammals in order to carry out education and science in its pursuits for saving these animals. And we teach conservation.
In Buzzards Bay, I'm Brian Sullivan for PCN.